Athletes, welcome back. We've got the arch nemesis of many athletes all the way from the playground to adulthood with your single under crossover. We've got Nick with us today, and by the end of this, we are gonna equip you with the tools and the tips that you need to be almost a professional, if not a professional, on this movement. So we're gonna go over the basics of jump rope right now, just so that you got a good foundation, and then we're gonna go into the nuances of that single under crossover. So the first thing that we're gonna talk about is just jumping style. With jumping style, you see two mistakes that people commonly make. The first one is that if Nick starts giving me single under jump, actually give me some double under jumps right now. And I want you to make it all up on your toes, like keep yourself almost permanently flexed like that. He's blowing his calves up right now. Go ahead and relax. When we think about our jump, we really have to keep those ankles loose and relaxed. So when you're practicing this, if I tell Nick now, I want him to go into these jumps and I want him to let that heel kiss the floor in between jumps, go ahead and do that for me. And let's look at the difference between the super tight version he did and this one. We are much more relaxed. We look much more springy. Go ahead and relax. The next one that we have is that if you have an issue with the front of your shins blowing up, you're probably pulling those toes super, super hard. Show me that super hard arch position that people do when they jump and they pull their toes. Pull your toes up, pull them up, and relax. This is commonly learned because people have learned how to get into this pike or this arch hollow position so that they avoid that kickback with the rope. It's a great cue to learn how to jump, but we don't want to over accentuate it because it will start pulling really hard on your anterior tibs. And now, instead of blowing up our calves, we've blown up the front of our shins. So with the jumps, and the thing that I love to have athletes do to kind of warm up and get relaxed, you channel your best Sylvester Stallone Rocky, and we got to start skipping with that rope. So we can do this with the rope or we can do it without. But what Nick's going to do is he's just going to start single under jumps for me. What we're going to do is, yeah, go for it. We're going to see these skills right now. So single, relax it. Relax a little bit more. Now we're going to see if we can put him to the test. Go ahead. Single under jumps. Then keep relaxed. Now start to skip for me. So alternate foot to foot, just like that. And as much variation as we have here, Nick is getting fancy with it, but we want you guys to stay relaxed and get yourself warmed up in this fashion so that you can really feel what those relaxed ankles are going to be like. And relax for me. So once we're warmed up, once we've got our jumping in check, we are ready to start attempting those crossovers. Now, with the counting of your crossovers, I know that there's been some confusion in the past for this, but you count your first rep when there is a change in position of the arms. So what that means is that Nick can do 1,000,000 single under jumps. If he starts doing single unders for me right now, there are no reps being counted. That was a no rep as well. But when we jump through, set the rope down for just a second. Now pick up that invisible rope for me. Okay, perfect. You didn't get it. It's still down the floor. There we go. We got it. All right. So with our invisible rope, Nick is going to go in these single unders for me. Now he's going to go into his first crossover. That is rep 1. So as those arms cross with a successful pass under the rope, that is 1. Now the arms change again. That's 2. We go 3, 4, 5, 6. Again, the only rule that you really have to follow here is you can't count your first rep until that initial change of the arms. The next thing that we're going to look at is that when we get into these crossovers, is that too many people stay way too tight in their shoulders and their upper body. So what we're looking at doing is as we go through these single under crossovers, we're looking at allowing this chest to open as the rope comes out, and then we close up and let these shoulders come forward so that we can get maximal extension of that rope and less likely of tripping over our feet. I'm gonna have Nick give us a couple single under crossovers so you guys can see what this looks like, specifically looking at what his upper body is doing. He's staying relaxed and he's letting that open and close, and relax for me. The next piece that we have is that wherever you point your rope, that is where the rope is going to go. Now this sounds super simple and it sounds very intuitive, but a lot of people will keep those ropes in a position that when they cross over, their handles are still pointing out versus pointing towards the direction we want the rope to go in. So as we go through, you're going to see Nick do this nice little finesse of almost a figure 8 pattern with his arms because he comes out and he comes in, out and in. Wherever you need the rope to go, that's where the end of the rope handles need to point. Watch his hands as he goes through this. And he points and out, and relax. Now the last cue that we have for you is you got to make yourself small on this. With our single unders and our double unders, it's very easy to get a little bit loose with what we're doing with our feet. They can go out because we got good control with that rope. However, when we're doing the crossover, any width on our feet is more of an increased chance of tripping on that rope. So I'm not telling you to jump like this, like you're tied together, but if we can stand to bring our feet in from this position to even a ½ inch on each side, that's gonna decrease the likelihood that we catch ourselves on the rope. So make sure that you're paying attention to what your body is doing, and then that is gonna set you up for success. The last thing, and this is gonna be the easiest change that you can make, get a little bit of a bigger rope, especially if you're an athlete who is super efficient with single unders and double unders. If you're using a rope that is technically 2 sizes shorter for you because you're very efficient and you stay very tight on those, you need to practice your crossovers with a longer rope because that is going to allow you to have that time to cross over. So those are our tips and our tricks to get you much better at that single under crossover or even potentially get you your first couple of reps. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you to Nick. And as always, be good, be kind, and join us again for another great day of fitness.